because I've had such toxic teachers before and stuff that would be like, you need to be having this many auditions and you need to be booking like this percentage of them. And it literally tore me apart. And if I hadn't fixed that way of thinking during the strike, I would have literally been in a ditch. Not have an SD card. Rip.
Tragic. Welcome to episode 2 of the Hags Podcast. Yes, that is right. Hags with an S.
With an S.
I said it wrong the whole time last episode, so that's good.
Yeah, I did too.
No worries.
I did too.
How was y'all's day? How's life?
Hectic, crazy madness.
Yeah.
Balancing work, day job, and podcast, and production company, and acting is a feat.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is angering, but in the end, it will all be, it will get us on the path.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, it will. Just have to, it's hard when
hard is an understatement.
You're drowning.
Yeah.
But it is worth it.
Yeah, it is.
I finally got my California registration today, like 10 minutes ago. I know.
Did you pass the driving test?
I didn't take it. I did not get my license.
You have to take the driving test?
Apparently. Wait, I just got my tags and they literally did not ask for a license. And I was like, good, because I don't have a California one. So they have flaws in their system. And she also didn't ask for my insurance, which I got yesterday, but I misspelled my name on it.
Girl!
No, I photoshopped the docs in case she asked. Okay, but then I called Geico before and she fixed it, but I had already photoshopped it. So that's what I had on hand to give to her.
You're going to jail!
It was just one letter. It was just one letter in my middle name.
Maybe I should cut that.
No, but now it's fixed. It's fixed. It's okay. It's not illegal. She didn't even ask for it, which is kind of annoying because I spent all night getting insurance.
Not Miss Photoshop.
I know.
I'm glad you got your registration.
Yeah, but they didn't give me screws to put it on my car, so I have to go get those.
Buy your own screws?
And screwdriver.
I have a screwdriver. I have 2.
Okay, perfect. I just need screws.
Oh, is it because you need one on the front as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was so confused. I was like, 2? And I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, most states are like that. Not Alabama.
Alabama.
Nah, they don't care.
No, they don't. Well, good for you. I'm glad you have your registration. I need to get mine. And I need to get my driver's license. Yeah. That's on the docket, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I need that next. It was $470.
Yep.
Insane.
Yep. That's crazy.
That's LA. In Alabama, it was only 120.
Mine was like 250 or something in it. No, I don't know.
I had to pay taxes on my car when I moved to Alabama on top of everything else.
Yeah.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You didn't have to pay the taxes?
No, because I bought it in January 2023. So I just passed the year.
Yeah, I don't have to pay mine either.
It didn't matter in Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama
That's so messed up.
I know.
Yeah. California is like a year from when you purchased it or something. Like you don't have to buy or pay the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Within a year, you have to pay them. So we just missed it.
Perfect.
Thank God.
Literally.
Okay. Well, we'll get there. We'll pay that.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I wanted to talk about briefly is that May is Arthritis and Lupus Awareness Month. And if you're listening to this, Jimmie and Emily already know this, but I have rheumatoid arthritis. I was diagnosed about a year ago, almost exactly. And lupus is something that my doctors think I probably have. And I think it's important to talk about just because it's really scary. Maybe not even scary. It's the diagnosis itself feels like kind of a relief for me anyway, because I was struggling for so many years.
Their trial and error until they figured out what was wrong with you.
Yeah. And autoimmune diseases are incredibly difficult to get diagnosed with.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have a diagnosis of lupus, because it's so hard to diagnose. I mean, I don't know if I have it. I don't know if I don't have it. And that's what they say every time I go to the doctor.
That's so
But
crazy. That's
yeah,
so crazy.
but I am diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis officially. And I think when you get the diagnosis, it's a little bit of a relief because you know that they can treat it and things should get better. One thing I didn't realize is even when you are on medicine, it might not work.
Yep.
And you have to try a bunch of different things and they still might not work. And you still get flares when you're on your medicine. And you have to take steroids sometimes, which affects your body in different ways. And
Especially as a woman, messes
yeah,
with your hormones. Yeah.
and you go through a bit of a grieving process of your old life months into your diagnosis because you realize, okay, things aren't going to be the same. And you have to figure out how to deal with that.
Yep.
But the reason I wanted to bring all this up is that it's not the end of the world. You do what you have to do, you learn to accept it, and you still live your life. I think it's really important to keep living your life. Things aren't going to be the same. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They're just not.
No.
But you learn how to live this new life and you learn new ways to enjoy life, especially exercising. That's probably my biggest one. I was a runner before I got sick, and
You were an athlete.
A
You were a
cheerleader.
cheerleader. You were not just a runner, you were an athlete.
yeah,
Like,
I was an athlete and I was my entire life, and that's a really hard thing to let go of. But
oh
now
gosh.
I do yoga and I do Pilates and I go on walks and I go on hikes. Sometimes I go a little too hard on the hikes.
Yeah, Runyon.
Yeah, I was not well when I came back from Los Angeles.
3 miles uphill.
And the snakes made it worse.
Honestly, I had fun, so it was worth it. So you have to
Yeah.
figure out the balance. But I think another reason I wanted to talk about this is because I think I'm not like the face of RA by any means, but like I still do all these things. I am following my passions and pursuing things, and I have a day job and I have a family, and like, I don't have children. That might have been misleading.
You have
No,
Daisy.
you have a family. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
and like
yeah.
life can still be normal. It's just something you have to deal with.
Yeah.
And if someone's happens to be listening or watching this and is dealing with a diagnosis or dealing with autoimmune issues, just know it's going to be all good.
Yeah.
And when you have supportive people, like I have Jimmie and Emily, and I have other friends and my husband who are so supportive and help me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jimmie was there when the day my
got-
RA got, like, it was before
Oh
I was
my
diagnosed.
God. Yeah.
The day it
What
got
were we
really, really bad.
what were we doing?
We
It
were
was
meeting with Bailey, and she was telling
oh
us
the
about her
pitching.
ideas for the script.
Oh,
Yes, for
yeah.
Against Us. She
Yeah,
was
Emily, I think you
swollen.
were at the beach.
Yeah, I
You
was
were
at
the
my sister's
beach.
graduation in Florida.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you were completely swollen. We were like,
I
we need to stop. And then Cheyenne was like, no, no, like, let's just do this. So she was just cradling an ice pack to, because your arm was swollen and then your legs were swollen. Like everything was swollen.
yeah, every single joint
Everything.
on my body was
Everything was
swollen.
swollen. So she's just like cradling all these ice packs and we're like still working on Against Us and not, she didn't stop. Like it was absolutely madness. And we were out there for 3 or 4 hours working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You looked at my feet at one point and you're like, I think we should stop.
Yeah. Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not pretty, but
No.
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and it's never been something to get in your way.
Yeah.
You know, it
Uh,
definitely makes it harder and it creates more obstacles, but it's never going to stop you from doing what you want.
exactly.
Yeah.
And if anyone's going through uh struggling to get a diagnosis or something like that, or just has questions, feel free to comment or DM us on Instagram.
Absolutely.
I've never talked about it online before, but I'm pretty open about it. It's not a secret, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And you talking about it, especially in, you know, in within filmmaking and with what we're doing, this is such a hard industry, especially for women. So having this disability and being open about it could be really helpful for other people that are trying to navigate through this with the same problems that you're
Yeah.
dealing with. And it feels very isolating and alone. And this career feels very isolating and alone. So to then have both of those things, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Moving on.
What's
The
that's
Wicked trailer. The Wicked
the
trailer comes
next
out tomorrow. That's very exciting. By the time you're watching this, it's already out. But they did share the clips of Cynthia and Ariana finding out that they got the roles, which was just so
crying.
inspiring, so magical. And if you're an actor or a director and you know that feeling, maybe not to that scale, but
Yeah. I
you,
mean,
when you like get the email or you get the call that you got a role, it's so
it's
exciting.
the thing about Ariana. She's a theater kid. She saw the original Wicked, 15 years ago on Broadway. Okay. It's one of the like pinnacle parts of her career and a huge reason why she chose the career that she had or she was doing. And she got Glinda. Like she got the part that is the reason that she decided to do this
She
career.
manifested that.
She manifested it. And not only did she manifest it, she's like a shoo-in for that part. I mean,
Her,
like she has trained her whole life for
her voice, it's incredible.
Incredible.
yeah, yes. Ethereal. It's giving Glinda.
Yeah, and you
It's
can tell her and Cynthia just put their whole heart and soul into this film. So they deserve it.
they deserve it. What else is coming out?
Um,
Wicked?
The Fall Guy with Ryan
Oh,
Gosling
I've
and
been
Emily
seeing
Blunt. It's all
promo.
over LA.
Did
Every
you
single
see
poster.
Did you see the TikTok of that guy that like they were like doing the movie premiere and about to go in the Q&A and the
Oh
stunt
yeah.
dude's like jumping over like the little seats and then onto the
Mm-hmm.
stage. Yeah.
And then in their photo, they like pulled them back, ripping the poster,
Yeah.
lying.
It's intense.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love them so much.
isn't it out?
I don't know. I've seen so much promo for it. I don't know what's
I
happening.
think it might be. I
I
missed
don't
it.
know.
Or it came out like 2 weeks ago
Oh,
Oh,
because I was gonna go see it, but
it
it's still
is
out.
May. Nice. We love that.
there is what else? I don't know if there's anything coming out within the next month.
What's
The
gonna be
Nickel
the movie of the summer? Last year it was Barbie. Like, what's our theme this year? It's sad.
I know.
I feel like all the movies that are coming out this year are going to be around November. The Back to
Mm.
Black film is coming out end
Ooh,
of May. Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
isn't Jesse in that? Yeah, he
J-
is.
He is?
what? And
Yeah.
Back to Black?
Wait, am I thinking it the Will Smith movie?
Oh, no, no, no. I'm thinking the
No.
Amy Winehouse movie.
Oh, that movie.
I was about to say.
He
Oh my
posted
God.
about it too on Instagram.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. Oh
I
my
Yeah.
know.
God.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Damn.
Damn. Yeah, I
And
think that's it.
Jesse, for those listening, is the owner
Mm.
of Good Scene Studios in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's a great, if you're in the Southeast and you're looking for a way to understand like the business side of the industry, get to know casting directors, agents. Like he does a lot of workshops. I think he also does acting classes, acting
Yeah.
techniques. Like he just like pop up like Meisner, like acting training workshops. But it's a great resource if you're in the Southeast.
And they
Definitely check
have the
it
Working
out.
Actors program, which is where we met one of our incredible mentors, Charlene.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, incredible.
resources.
Great, great, great resources and very reasonably priced. A lot of the classes and a lot of the workshops out there in this industry are very expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and the get scene is very well priced. So
Yeah, he keeps it accessible for,
he does keep it accessible. Yeah, this is a great way to put it.
which we appreciate for sure.
We
We do.
do.
Yeah, with the broke girlies that we are.
Hey, we don't talk like that.
Yeah.
We are
I mean,
rich.
you know, we're rich in soul. We're rich in experience
Yes.
and life
And love.
and love and friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We're getting there.
Maybe not this week, but
No,
Check back in a
not-
week.
I know.
okay. Well, let's
Okay.
jump into our main topic, which is creating your own content and why you should do it.
Oof. Yes.
I mean, the basis of Hag Productions is creating your own content.
It is being scrappy.
Mhm.
We're doing it right now. We do
Yeah.
it when we make short films. We do it when we did the cooking show.
Yeah, I mean, podcast, and is a form of content. Making a movie, a feature film. The
Mhm.
industry, and this can segue into the topic, but the industry right now is so slow. Like, how many pilots were shot this year? Like, it was like 3% of what's normally shot.
Mhm.
It is at an all-time low. So I feel like this is the best time to really invest in those projects that you're wanting to create. And you don't have to have a lot of money and a lot of resources. Like you just need to have people that believe in you and your project to get it off the ground.
It's a weird time too, because during the strikes last year, when the industry was shut down, a lot of people were saying, oh, just wait. As soon as these strikes are over, it's going to be so busy. You're going to have auditions every single day, multiple ones a day. There's going to be so many jobs. And then that's not what happened.
Yep.
The
I
slowest
struggled.
return.
Yeah, I felt like I was doing something wrong because I was like, oh, why this? I mean, the pendulum should have swung, and it like almost it like went middle and went back to where it was. Like it has not improved.
And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. And it can really take a toll on your mental health and your
Oh yeah.
creative fulfillment.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which is why one just important thing is why you shouldn't put your value in your career or how many auditions you're getting or anything. Because I've had such toxic teachers before and stuff that would be like, you need to be having this many auditions and you need to be booking like this percentage of them. And it literally tore me apart. And if I hadn't fixed that way of thinking during the strike, I would have literally been in a ditch. Like you can't put your pride and your enjoyment in life and how many auditions you get, how much you're booking. It's just not about that. And then, what we did like throughout the whole strike was create our own content. And that honestly like took my mind off of the fact that like I wasn't auditioning as much because
Yeah.
we were literally making our own stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're siphoning your
100%.
100%. You're siphoning your creativity and your fulfillment into the projects that you're creating. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me right now, I don't have an agent. I moved. I'm in a I'm in Maryland right now, but I'm in the New York market, which is giant. The
Yeah.
industry is slow. I self-submit and I still audition, but it's not the same as having representation.
No.
So being able to put my energy into our feature film Against Us is so helpful. I'm
Mhm.
honestly so busy, with Hag and my jobs and other things. I don't really know where I was going with that. The overall point, though, is I'm getting my creative fulfillment from creating content for Hag, especially this feature film.
Same. I truly, let me just see. This year alone, I've probably had, what is it, May? I've had 7 auditions. 7, maybe 10. That is madness, bonkers.
And
That
you
is
have a manager.
And I have a manager and an agent.
Oh, yeah.
And I had like 10, 7 to 10. I don't even know. Not many. Less than 10. So that did not feel great. Yeah, but the lull that's happening right now, I have really appreciated because it's really helped us move Hag to where it's at. We wouldn't have the time to be creating a podcast, to be launching a crowdfunding campaign for a feature film, to be potentially helping out other people's projects. Like, we are doing so much because it's just the best time right now to create our own content. I mean, any time is a great time to make your own content, but like taking advantage of the stillness right now is something that I've really been enjoying.
Yeah. And booking stuff like co-stars or small supporting in a feature film is very exciting and a huge accomplishment, right?
Yeah.
It's incredible, and you make good money on those days where you're working. But at the end of the day, you only have 5, 10 lines.
I
Depends on
know, if even,
depends on what you're
honestly.
booking. Yeah. Which is great.
It is great.
And
Incredible.
I love booking that stuff. It's exciting.
Yeah.
But what excites me more is that I'm going to be leading a feature film.
Yep. That
And
you're
I don't,
directing, producing, and like, yeah, like that, having a major hand within the production of the feature film while also leading it.
and I don't have to wait for someone to give it to me. I'm giving it to
Mhm.
myself. And
Yes.
I'm still
Yep.
going after those jobs because they're great, right?
Mhm.
But this is also great, and this is keeping me creatively fulfilled.
Yep.
It
There's like
gives you an anchor.
Mhm.
yeah, there's like a time in acting, and I think everybody struggles with this, especially in the beginning as you're like building up your career. But it just like, you are putting so much of your creative energy into projects just to build your resume, just to have experience on set, just to, keep taking those steps. And it is incredibly draining. And I feel like nobody talks about that. And it actually kind of made me hate acting. Like, it was like, this is awful. Like, I don't like these scripts. I mean, not to like sound complaining or anything, but it just like, I felt like I was putting all of my creativity into other people's projects, and it just was leaving my body and going into the ether, and it just felt so incredibly frustrating. So with Hag and creating her own projects, I'm seeing my creativity come back, and it's like, I'm all this energy that I'm putting into these projects, I'm seeing them become fulfilled, and that like just starts to build. Like, it is the best feeling, and it's made me relove the craft, relove, filmmaking and storytelling and all that. And it's just, when you have that creative control, I feel like it can really take you far.
And it's honestly necessary now because, like,
Yeah.
back in the day, you didn't have to create your own content. There wasn't social media. No one cared. You could literally roll up and just be an actor. And now you literally cannot. If you want to build your career, you cannot just be an actor because no one cares to listen to an actor all day. They really don't. They don't care if you roll up and say, I'm an actor. They're like, okay, cool, join the line. Like, you have to be doing your own stuff and making your own content. And that's honestly some of the only ways to get your own footage now too. Like, because it's annoying because you have to have credits to get agents and auditions, but you don't have credits when you start out. Same thing with footage. So you have to make your own content to give you that extra boost. And then people see that drive and they see that you're actually capable and competent and you know about the industry, and they will want to work with you more.
Yeah, I
No,
feel like
I was just gonna say that's so true.
it's so true. Every actor is a multi hyphenate. Like if you really when you see the people like really making it, it's like, oh, they podcast. Oh, they're a producer. Oh, they're a director. Oh, they're running an acting studio. Oh, they're like, it's just, you have to wear all the hats to keep going.
Yeah, and you have to surround yourself with like-minded actors who are
Oh,
also
yes.
doing all that.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
going to lift you up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be collaborative.
Yeah,
And like
absolutely.
it's annoying in the start because I know a lot of people they really do just want to act, and that's how I was before. Like I swore against doing anything else behind the camera, and then I actually tried it when I was 16 and I made my own short film. And then I was like, "Oh wait, this is kind of actually really cool and fun." Like I just wrote my own script, I filmed it, I brought it to life, and I edited it. And it's actually really fun if you just give it a chance, and you might see that you actually like it because now I genuinely like directing and producing equally, almost possibly more because it's really nice to roll up to set and not have to be in hair and makeup some days.
Yeah. I felt the same way. Whenever I first started acting, I did not want to step into the other roles outside of talent. I was like, I don't want to do that. Like, that's going to take away from my craft. And I feel like that's just like the, you know, it's just like, I don't want to, what's the word? But it's like when actor, it's just like the self servingness of being an actor and an artist.
Yeah, it's
And
like
it's,
the gimme, give me.
yeah, yeah. I was trying to think of a nicer way to say that, but I think that I think that's true.
Yeah.
But it actually, like, producing and directing and whatever I've done as crew has helped me be a better artist. Like I understand how I need to act for an edit or for a camera. Or honestly, I realize like how insignificant I am on set, and I'm like which is helpful for me because I take the pressure off of myself as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Um
I've always wanted to do it all. But within that process, I've
Hi,
realized the same
Aries.
thing. And directing made me a better actor. Taking training as an actor for years and years made me a much better director.
Yep.
I believe when there's not major budget constraints and schedule constraints, I'm an actor's director. Like I
Yeah.
really like to get in there, and I care about the camera a lot too. But some directors can't, especially on I don't know if I should say
What?
Say it. It's okay. You can cut it out if you think it's bad.
that. A lot of newer directors
Oh,
don't speak an actor's language,
nope.
Oh no.
No,
and it
baby.
makes it difficult to be an actor on their set because they're not speaking your language. You can't communicate with each other, which is
Yep.
why I also think it's equally important for actors to learn about how films are made.
I
Because then you can
completely
speak the
agree.
director's language. You can speak the DP's language. Okay, what lens are we on? Okay, I know that's my frame.
Yep.
So,
Or like, oh, continuity. I move this. I need to keep that, or whatever the tiny technical pieces are that you just don't think about when you're
And
trying
it
to
like
perform.
it also helps like with acting just in general because I've noticed since starting to like direct and everything, I've noticed when I act, I know not to hold back because sometimes you get there and you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna be shy in a first take or something." And then after being a director, I'm like, "No, don't do that to them. Like just give it all, your first shot, fully throw yourself into it." Like
Mm.
there's none of that little dance of, awkward. It's a weird scene. I have to scream. I have to cry. It's like, that's what you're here to do. If you don't do it full out, they're literally going to hate you for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
mhm,
you just need to authentically live in the moment, and whatever
Mm-hmm.
the scene is, you need to stay true to the scene.
yeah, you have to go for it and be prepared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another thing with creating your own content. You see how important the preparation of every single person on that set is, from the
Yes.
gaffers to the DP to the director to the PAs. Everyone has to be prepared, especially actors.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Mm-hmm.
especially, but actors need to be prepared because if you don't know your lines or you don't know the choices you're making in the scene, you're wasting everyone's time and money.
I
And you're
know.
gonna
It's
have an angry first
crazy.
AD.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like bonkers to me to show up to set without knowing your lines. Like you could have
I
paid me
know.
money. Like
I would
why?
never.
I have nightmares about that.
Yeah.
I've told you all this before, I think. But when Dynasty was on the air, I would have recurring nightmares that I got booked as a co-star on Dynasty and didn't know my lines, and Liz Gillies yelled at me.
That would
No,
be
that's
terrifying.
terrifying. That's
I
She
had
would
terrifying.
that.
scare.
I had
I
that
would quit.
nightmare all the time.
Yeah. No.
I love her,
I love
but
her.
Yeah, same.
don't want to
No,
be on
that
her
would
bad side.
that would wreck me.
I can see how a new actor could come into it and not realize the importance. But once you're in it, you really understand and you have to learn quickly etiquette.
Mhm.
Yeah. Everybody's time is valuable on set. It's not just talent. Like everybody's time is, and everybody needs to come prepared so we could be a well-oiled machine.
Well, another thing about creating your own content is you can submit it to film festivals.
Oh,
You go to the film festivals, you meet other filmmakers, agents are there, casting directors are there, other directors are there. You never know who you're going to meet. And the networking is incredible. And they're fun. A lot of film festivals are very fun.
you're
I,
surrounded by all the nerdy theater kids. All the
mhm.
nerdy. It's the best.
I had a film at a festival one time, and I was in the filmmakers lounge, and I got acupuncture.
Oh,
I'm jealous.
Yeah,
that's
free.
nice.
And it wasn't like weird. It was sanitary and fine. But like
Nice.
another time,
Nice.
I was at a film festival, had a film in the festival, and there was an oyster roast. And you don't pay for these things when
That's
you're the
luxury.
filmmaker.
Mm,
And I brought
Oh,
my grandma.
yes. Aw.
that's sweet. Does she eat oysters? Slurp them up?
She did.
Mm,
Not that many, but she tried.
not, yeah. No, truly, like, and I feel like you're crossing out the middleman when you're making your own content and then submitting to film festivals and getting accepted and meeting other people, and people are seeing your work and want to collaborate with you. And yeah, like what Cheyenne said, you have no idea like who is at the film festival. We submitted to Cobb, got into Cobb, and because we got into the Cobb Film Festival, we got distribution. Our first film, our first short film, got put on mini flicks through Roku. And that's just like such a small thing. Like you have no idea the opportunities that could unfold if you know, put your film out there and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut out that middleman. Do it yourself.
Mhm.
And if you decide not to go the film festival route or put it online afterwards, let's say you don't get distribution, you don't know who's going to watch that. Anyone can watch it. It's the internet.
Mhm.
True. No, really. Like, you know how many people have made their careers from just posting their stuff online? Look at Justin Bieber. He's the biggest pop star in the world, and he posted a YouTube video. Like, you have no idea.
And those YouTubers last year, or
Oh,
was that?
Talk to Me? Are you talking
Yeah.
about? Oh, that was like one of the best movies I saw in 2023. The acting, the editing, the story. Talk to Me was so good. And it was made by the Australian YouTubers, and the A24 picked up their film from the Adelaide Film Festival.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, very good film. Very, very good. Yep,
You got to put yourself out there.
you have to.
Get out of
Yeah,
your
you do.
comfort zone.
Get out of your comfort zone and trust that your art is enough. And I think also a big piece is like it's you have to like continue to create. Like you just can't do one short film and expect that to change your life. Like I mean it puts you in the direction that you need to go to, but you have to continue to create and continue to grow and continue to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight,
No, it doesn't.
Mhm.
even when it looks like it from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a funny story.
Okay. Okay,
So,
so
what?
you go.
Okay, so my highlight was in acting class last week. I went to the Thursday workout class, which is not where you work out. It's where you just do anything for like acting wise. Like you can ask to like do a cold read, a scene, a character interview, or coach's challenge. And I did a coach's challenge. And I was expecting something very emotional and traumatizing. So I was like, ugh, fine. And he didn't tell me till class started. And he said that I had to do a comedy stand-up routine. And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, fine. Write a poem. And I was like, write a poem? I was like, I don't know how to write a poem. So I spent the whole class freaking out, panicking, spiraling, because I didn't know how to write a poem or what to even write about because I can't just focus on one topic. So I just had a whole page of random ass thoughts that I was just thinking the whole time I was writing it. Did not make sense. Some of it rhymed. I rhymed poem with modem, but I got up there and I was like, it's really bad. And I was like, can I rap it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So then I ended up rapping my poem in class.
Okay, let's do it. Just 1, 2, 3. Ready? Stop it. Yeah.
Once upon a time, not long ago, Sid made me write a poem. It reminded me of trying to set up the Wi-Fi modem. I was hating this shit and I ate a burger at the snake pit. My creativity is numb and I feel dumb. My brain shoots in too many directions because I strive for crippling perfection.
Yeah.
This feels like punishment. But they said that it was really funny, so that was good. But yeah, it got me out of my head because I feel like I've been in a creative slump and like that just made it worse because I was like, I have no creative thoughts. But then I just had fun with it. I did a little rap. Yeah, didn't let it get to me. It was a good night.
Perfectionism is a killer of creativity.
It is. And I think that's what my issue was.
Flop sometimes, and a flop leads to rapping a poem.
Yeah. And they were like, art is subjective. Like it was funny.
Yeah.
Like that's how it is. There were no expectations, which I guess that's part of the exercise because he was like, you can write it about anything you see in class. And I was like, okay.
And you went for it.
Yeah.
And you went for it. You rapped.
Yeah.
You added that extra layer of putting yourself out there.
Yeah. He was like, normally people leave. Like he's just walked and been like, the person has disappeared. And I was like, I thought about it. And then I came back.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah. So that was my highlight, I guess.
I don't know if this is a highlight. It kind of is. So I'm deathly afraid of flying. I fly, but I don't like flying. I like have traveled, like I've gone to Taiwan, traveled China. I've traveled. So I don't allow my flight anxiety to hold me back. But I've always had a fear of, and like Cheyenne had this happen to her, but I've always had the fear of like the plane like trying to land and it can't, it has to go back up. I was like, I never want to experience that ever. Like I don't think I'll get another plane if I have to deal with that traumatic experience of trying to land a plane and coming back up. And then that happened to me. Our plane was trying to land in Detroit last week, and there's like storms, so it's been windy. And apparently when that Detroit airport is notorious for like turbulent landings.
That makes sense because it's near the lakes.
Yeah. I was feeling those lakes because we were trying to land and the plane was literally, I mean, I looked out the window, like we were going like this, and I was like lifting my feet up, like doing all the things that you do when you're scared and you don't want to feel the turbulence. And our plane was trying to land and then it couldn't, and it nosedived back up into the air. And it was absolutely terrifying, and we were circling for like 30 minutes, turbulent, and then we ended up landing. But though that was very, very scary and I didn't enjoy it and I was very uncomfortable, when I landed, I was proud of myself because I was like, okay, I went through my worst experience that I thought through, and a thing that I thought would never let me, the thing that I thought would hold me back from getting on a plane. And I was safe and I was okay. And then I was like, okay, well, if I can go, if my worst fears are in my head and they happen and I'm safe and okay, then I like told myself that I could like make it through anything. So I like got another plane 2 days later. And I was nervous, but not as nervous. So I dealt with my flight anxiety like an adult, and I'm proud of myself.
You
He
should
loves
be.
that.
Scared. Yeah,
Yeah, your flight anxiety is
it's bad.
bad.
I
Yeah.
held a stranger's hand for 30 minutes, like during that landing, like literally so bad. I was so scared.
And I can cut this if you want. But Jimmie would track flights on her phone and like
No, I know every plane I'm on before I get on the plane. I was on an Airbus, oh God, the bigger Airbus, the Air A321 or A21, whatever it is. But yeah, no, I have a flight tracker. So I can see every flight in the sky right now on my flight tracker app.
Whoa.
Yeah. I will like read about an airplane before I get on an airplane. Yes. Yeah. Look at all these flights in the sky. Look at that. You can't even see it.
That would stress me out.
No, it makes me feel better because I'm like, if 100,000 planes are taking off this week and I haven't heard any in the news of them crashing, my stats are looking good. And it helps
That's
my
true.
anxiety.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, bad
That's
flight
true.
anxiety. Yeah. So face to fear.
Nothing crazy happened to me in the past week, but I did get to go to my nephew's playoff game for lacrosse.
Aw.
And uh, for anyone who doesn't know, I recently moved back temporarily to my hometown and like where my family lives. And I had been gone for a decade. I moved out when I was 18, far away. So it's nice to be able to be supportive of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's in high school and he's on varsity. So
And he's a really good athlete too, isn't he?
he is, yeah. So it's just
Yeah.
nice to be able to be there and it not be once a year like it has
Yeah.
been for a decade.
Yeah. I feel like it's a good time for you. It's like still you're at home, like it's when you grow up and you go to college and your life is moving so quickly and you go back home. I feel like it's really good. It like shows you that you need to slow down and it like shows you the
Mhm.
importance of family
Yeah.
and the people in your
Yeah.
life that care about you. Yeah.
There's definitely some downsides, but
Definitely. Yep.
this is being able to go to a lacrosse game is a huge positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even when we moved to New York, it's not that far.
No.
And that's why for anyone wondering, that's why we moved or are moving to New York. It's just closer to family. We were sick of being a 14-hour car ride away.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Family's important. You
It
realize
is.
that as you get older. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've got flight anxiety, we've got a lacrosse game, and we've got a poem that you wrapped and wrapped and wrapped.
I
Tore it
almost
up.
fell.
What?
I almost just fell. If you're watching the video, you saw. Um, okay. So I guess that'll do it for episode 2 of the Hags podcast
Oh, with an S.
with an S.
Hags.
Tell them where they can find us on socials.
On at the Hags Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Also listen on Spotify and Apple.
Well, we're having
Right?
problems with Apple.
I lied. Listen on Spotify and give us a 5-star rating, which is what I did.
I did too.
Oh, you were the other one.
Yeah.
Same. But there is a 4th one, so I don't know who that was, but
Maybe
shout
my
out.
mom. Oh, shout out number 4. Shout out. Yeah, Appy will be here. She's on hold currently.
She's cooking.
Okay, ladies of Hags.
And just want to say thank you to everyone who listened to our pilot episode, episode 1. We
Yes.
appreciate all the feedback and
Yes.
hope you're here listening again.
we hope you're here for number 2 and number 3 and 4 and 5, 6. So and so on. All right, ladies. Are we out?
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Sorry,
Bye.
Okay. We're gonna get sued.